So I read this book about 3 months ago or so, and I totally loved it, you guys. I can't remember the last time I enjoyed a short story collection, and I have been determined ever since to post a review of this book. So today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on The Secret Lives of Church Ladies by Deesha Philyaw. Let's get started. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Rachel here. As always, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a thing, especially if you are new here. If you're not subscribed, why haven't you subscribed? Please subscribe. And if you are old or you have been around, welcome back. Like this video so that it is fair to other viewers as well. If you'd like to support me on my creative journey as I am creating content for my YouTube channel, please click the link in the description box and you will get more details on that, of how you can support me in my creative journey. So as I said, today we are going to be talking about this book that I read, the short story collection. It's called The Secret Lives of Church Ladies. This book was so good that I said I had to film an independent book review. Normally I would just gloss over it if I'm trying to give an audiobook recommendation, which I have shot, like, I've shot videos of such things. But I said this book deserves, I really love when I see beautiful writing, and I just feel like the book deserved its own independent book review. So let's get into it. So like I said, this book was written by Deesha Philyaw. It was performed, I listened to the audiobook, it was performed by Janina Edwards, who did an amazing and phenomenal job. In fact, I think that's why the writing and the narration and the performance of the audiobook really did it for me. And maybe because as a church brat, or like growing up as a pastor's kid, it reflects the imperfection of human beings and just how imperfect we are. We can all relate to that, even if sometimes with religion there's always that thing of everybody like on the outside looking perfect and looking holy, but we're all human beings and we all have flaws and all of those things. I just really love the fact that the stories were short, they were exciting, they read beautifully well, and they were spicy. They had their own juicy gossip here and there and whatnot. So I really liked it. I'm going to read out the synopsis so that you guys can tell what this book is about. So The Secret Lives of Church Ladies explores the raw and tender places where Black women and girls dare to follow their desires and pursue a momentary reprieve from being good. The 9 stories in this collection feature 4 generations of characters grappling with who they want to be in the world, caught as they are between the church's double standards and their own needs and passions. So these are examples of some of the things that you can find in this short story collection. There is 14-year-old Jael, who has a crush on the preacher's wife. If at 42, Lyra realizes that her discomfort with her own body stands between her and a new love. As Y2K looms, Caroletta's same time next year arrangement with her childhood best friend is tenuous. A serial mistress lays down the ground rules for her married lovers. In the dark shadows of a hospice parking lot, grieving strangers find comfort in each other. With their secret longings, new love, and forbidden affairs, these church ladies are as seductive as they want to be, as vulnerable as they need to be, as unfaithful and unrepentant as they care to be, and as free as they deserve to be. So I really enjoyed this one, and I loved how this story was like, it followed like different generations of women, and that's why I said Janina Edwards did a really great job, because there was a particular story, I think it was which one was it, Jael or so, where there was a grandmother involved, and she hammered in on that Southern American old Black woman accent, like grandma kind of situation, and she got all the accents of a Black woman. Like, she played different roles in this book and literally hit it hard. And not to say that the book was not written beautifully, because it was centered on common themes which were found in them, like religion, love, family bond, parenthood, loss, sexuality, friendship, identity, like women who were just trying to find themselves in the world, who sort of already knew who they were but were ashamed to say it out to other people because of fear of what people would say. There was a woman who realized that she was in love with another woman, but then because of the church, she says, oh, she's going to marry a man and she has to just keep up appearances basically, and her best friend, who she was sort of in love with, was trying to convince her that really what's the point of all of that, and just sort of them living true to themselves, I guess, and figuring out who they are, forgetting about what other people would typically say if they decided to reveal who they were. So I actually liked Eula. I don't know whether I should even be talking about what these books are. Okay, maybe I'll do 30 seconds on each of the short story collections that I like. Eula is about like this woman who, like I said, she gets with her best friend all the time, who is also female, and she's into women, right? But then she wants to keep up appearances with church, and she's telling people that, oh yeah, she's waiting for her man, she's waiting for her husband, she's waiting for God's time. But really, she knows that she's not really, I mean, if she even met a man, she's not going to be like in love with him, because that's not what she's attracted to. But because she just feels like, what would they say? What would people say about me? How am I going to be able to explain this part of me to people? Because she's like a person, like a woman who has been in the church for a long time, but this is like her deep, dark secret that she just can't come out to say anything about. So she and her best friend are basically just talking about that. That's sort of, without giving too much away. I really love Peach Cobbler. Peach Cobbler is about a young girl who struggles with like love from her mom. She doesn't get enough affection from her mom, and she notices that her mom loves to make peach cobbler, because the mom makes the peach cobbler for the pastor who is having an affair with her. But the pastor is actually married. So she ends up really falling in love with making peach cobbler, because she just feels like it's connect her to her mom. And then she ends up going to go and have a crush on, I think, the pastor's son, and then she gets close to the pastor's family, but she can't tell the pastor's wife that her mom is sleeping with the pastor. So she eventually then falls in love with the pastor's son, but then the pastor's son, I think, has a girlfriend and didn't tell her. Oh my goodness, it's just a huge it's a huge mess, and they're all in the same church. It's just a very huge mess. Anyway, then there's Dear Sister. I really love this one. This one is about like a lady who is writing like a letter to her sister, who doesn't know that she has other siblings. So I think somebody died and they're trying to tell her to come for the funeral or something like that, and they write to her and they're telling her about everybody in the family. So I love the way this particular short story was written, because just from the letter you could tell a lot about the person who was writing, her personality, and all the other siblings, sort of like introducing her. Oh, there's this person, there's that person, you should come so that we should meet. Oh, you didn't even miss much, this, that. And from that you could just see, like, you know, in terms of fatherhood, and I think their father was not really present in their lives and things like that, and he had favorites and some of them struggled with that. So you could see what the impact of, you know, the absence of a father in a young lady's life really played from this particular short story, and I really enjoyed it. Another one I loved was How to Make Love to a Physicist. Beautifully written, just basically like instructions of how to fall in love with a physicist, basically. So this is what you do, this is what you do, and that's the way it was written. And it just tells the story of a woman who met a physicist at a conference, and I think they fall in love. I can't even remember how it ended, but I just really loved the way it was actually written. Then there's Jael, who is the person who her grandmother sort of finds out that she's into women from her diary and confronts her, because the grandmother is old-fashioned, as it were, and if she ever thought anything like that, I mean, these are things that you're not allowed to speak about, especially back then in the previous generation. So that just sort of showed how different generations approach these things and how the grandmother came to know about this. And then there's the instructions for married Christian husbands, which I think there's this woman who maybe she sleeps with married Christian husbands, and then she's telling them what they must or must not do if they want to, like, basically employ her services, for lack of a better word. And she's like, don't call me when you're with your wife, don't do this, don't do that. It's so funny. Like, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But I just thought that it was a beautifully written collection of short stories, and it's something that is spicy and nice, and I think it just, like I said, reflects the imperfection of human beings that religion typically likes to cover up a lot. And I thought that it was a nice read. So let me know if you've listened to this, if you've read it, if it's something that you might be interested in reading, or, you know, just to see how these things typically go, the exploration of these themes and whatnot. But I really enjoyed it. My verdict for this one would be a proper 4.75 over 5, because I loved the writing, I loved it, it was easy to understand, I loved the beautiful writing, I loved the intentional use of words, and I loved the performance. The narrator really brought this book to life. Most of all, I love the fact that it's short and it's not particularly drawn out so much, and it's something that you can listen to in one sitting. So let me know if it's something that you're going to listen to or you plan to in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.